Hello and welcome to our segment Cut Through the Noise, where today we answer your questions that we've been hearing throughout the month. Today we're talking about the tax proposal, changes to Social Security, another crazy crypto scam, and whether or not you should buy a car right now. Stay tuned. All right, Anthony, so, a big I guess tax proposal that came out a couple days ago. There's a lot of important changes in there, but not necessarily anything yet that's finalized.
Yeah, President Biden introduced a proposal early in the year. Congress came back with a proposal just the other day, and basically, they're saying tax increases primarily for people that are making 400,000 plus, bringing the top bracket back to 39.6. A lot of people are calling it a rollback to the Clinton era administration. But the thing is it affects everyone differently. Yeah. Right?
Well, and that's the thing too, is because I think, if you have a question about taxes, well, how's it going to impact me, right? Like, are my taxes going to go up? And I think what we're seeing is it's going to impact people differently across the board. I know for like Californians, a lot of people were wondering, well, are they going to repeal like the state and local income tax cap at $10,000? At this time, that doesn't appear to be in there. So a lot can change between this proposal and a finalized version.
Yeah, and that's probably the most important thing that we would pass along, is that based on a proposal, a lot changes before it goes into a bill. And it affects everybody differently because there are give and take in any tax bill, and so you want to be really careful about how you act upon that, especially now.
So I'd probably leave with this, is if you have questions about the proposal to your unique situation, you probably want to talk with your CPA or your advisor just to say, hey, based upon my situation, what are things looking like? Are there any proactive steps we might want to take now in preparation for a potential finalized version?
Yeah, for sure. All right, next question. Social Security came out and says they are running out of money 1 year earlier than planned.
Yeah, so that's expected to be run out, I think, in 2033. Yeah. Now, the thing is that is expected to be running out of money, meaning fully funded. That doesn't mean it'll completely stop, because you'll still have what are called FICA taxes coming in to help pay for Social Security, but it just might be a reduced benefit. I think a lot of questions that retirees have is, well, how is this going to impact my benefits? Right. And I mean, truth be told, I think it's going to be a really rare occurrence to see a retroactive reduction of retiree benefits. I mean, think about it politically. Who's the major, voting base?
Yeah, they go up.
Largely older people, and so if they were to reduce their benefits, you're going to have people up in arms.
Yeah, a lot. And the younger generation, if you think about it, they're already, those that are actually thinking about Social Security are probably like, well, it's not going to be there, it's going to change in some way. When Congress actually does get its act together, and they do tend to wait until the last minute, I think if you stretch out the full retirement age a little bit further, and it hasn't been changed in like 40 years, give it enough time to get there. They're probably going to increase the wage base, because you only pay Social Security taxes up to a certain limit.
I think it's $137,000 right now.
Yeah, so if you push those types of things out, no one's going to like the changes fully. But the younger generation is going to expect that for the most part. Something just needs to be done.
I think it's usually like the best option too, is that both sides of the camp, both parties, everyone involved is going to be unhappy in a small way. That's usually the best option to keep this thing fully funded and operational.
Yeah, but when you hear stories like this, you don't want to go out and just necessarily act based on like this fear thing. Oh, it's going to run out of money, I need to take it super early.
Yeah, exactly.
And get a huge discount, and then you have lower benefits for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. All right, so next thing, there was another crypto scam, another Walmart Litecoin fiasco. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so fake press release. It says Walmart's going to accept Litecoin, which is a cryptocurrency. The crypto shoots up really quick, and then everybody realizes it's a scam because Walmart comes out and says that's not even true, and it goes back down. Pump and dump.
Yeah, well, and I think it speaks to the vulnerability of this whole crypto space. Because listen, I mean, it's still been around for a little while now. I think people are starting to see more adoption. People are trying to research it more, understand its use cases, but it's still very vulnerable. It's still in its early stages. So again, when we think about crypto in its entirety, I think you still want to look at least our position is still a speculative asset, right? If you're going to invest in any of these cryptocurrencies, it has to have a specific purpose and a plan, knowing that this thing could go to zero.
Yeah, but even beyond cryptocurrency, I think there's a lesson in this. Number one is that information is distributed super quick, right, with the internet. And then you have a very speculative investment environment, so people are going out pumping money into these based on a tweet or something, a press release, and getting burned by it.
Absolutely.
All right, last question here, Alex. Should I buy a car right now or wait?
Yeah, and if you're in the market to buy a new car, you're probably seeing the prices are going crazy. So there's not too much we can do about it, but what I would say is, I mean, if you can wait, if you can, I think that'd be the best thing you can do. But if you do need a car right now, just be really picky, be very selective. You know, make sure you're looking at all your options, comparing the price of a new car versus the used car, because in many cases these used cars are going for almost as much as new cars. And then just consider other options. Like, does it make sense? You know, can I lease for a little bit of time if I do need a car right now, just to hold me over? And then hopefully supply chains, things like that normalize and the car prices become more normalized.
Yeah, leasing can be a Band-Aid. I've talked to a few people that have bought like a very inexpensive used car just to get them through the next couple of years until supply opens up a bit.
Awesome. Well, this is our segment, Cut Through the Noise. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have a question that you would like us to answer, you can send us an email at admin@onedegreeadvisors.com. In the subject line, just put Cut Through the Noise, and we'll make sure to answer it during our next segment, Cut Through the Noise.